last year we did a lot to try to normalize and ease the tensions around trade. We had over 37 barriers to trade. And we sat in 1 week with a lot of goodwill, 2 ministerial bilateral meetings between Kenya and Tanzania in Arusha. And within 5 days, we resolved 25 of the 37 barriers to trade. So we are left with only 12. And I believe right now there are less than 10 because some of them were resolved during the reading of the budget in June last year. So we were supposed to have a meeting this month in Kisumu to resolve all pending barriers to trade so that we can ease movement of the between now, that's March and July. You'll see a lot of activities in Tanzania by Kenya around looking for new outlets for Kenyan products. Remember, for the past 3 years or so, we have been challenges with our flagship retail outlets, Uchumi and Nakumatt in Tanzania. And since the collapse there, we've had challenges of where we can actually showcase and store our products on Tanzanian shelves so that Tanzanian can buy our products. So we'll be doing a lot of exercise in 4 major towns of Mwanza, of Kilimanjaro region, that's Moshi and Arusha. And then we'll be going down to Dar es Salaam and we'll be going all the way up to Mbeya to look at new distribution channels, Tanzanian distribution channels for Kenyan goods. So we'll be doing this exercise to pick up the best of the best who will now be carrying Kenyan products in the shelves in Tanzania so that our products actually get to be bought by Tanzanians. So that's a really for exercise that we want to do between now, this month and next month. And from May and June, we are preparing together with Brand KE a business forum. That will bring Kenyans, Tanzania together to try to see where we can maximize our potential in terms of investment and trade. Remember that Kenya is the #1 in African investor in Tanzania. Not another country, Kenya. But last year we had hit over 1.7 billion US dollars. That's 170 billion Kenyan shillings worth of investment in Tanzania, making us the #1 African investor in Tanzania. Over 55,000 Tanzanians work in Kenyan companies, and that's really significant. And we can do a lot more if we can continue to engage dialogue with the Tanzanian government, especially the Minister for Investment, the Minister for Trade and the Foreign Affairs, and the entire government. They are keen to get Kenyans to invest some more, and I believe as we engage with them and resolve all challenges that Kenyans genuine field should be looked into, I believe if we do that, we'll be able to even double that number. If we come together, the numbers become more attractive for us, for all of us, as especially those in business. So I'm encouraging Kenyans to look beyond challenges, but we're there to help to do our best to resolve those issues, and especially the people of the coast here. It's only 7 in Tanzania. So please, I want to see more and more Kenyans, especially here at the coast, engaging with Tanzania. And I know they're doing, see a lot more engagement. Lugha ni ile ya Kiswahili, watu ni wale wa Kiswahili, unafanya biashara zako lugha ya nyumbani, inakuwa rahisi kueleweka na kuna wakuelewe, na mkifanya biashara pia mnasaidia zaidi pia uwiano na undugu. Manake wanaofanya biashara lazima at least wajuane, waanze kujuana zaidi ya biashara. Kwa hivyo biashara inasaidia uwiano katika watu wetu wa Afrika Mashariki, hasa katika pwani, manake mandhari ni yale, tamaduni ni zile, watu ni wale. Kwa hivyo mimi nawaombea na zaidi kuwasisitiza, jameni, tuingiliane, tufanye biashara pamoja, na kuna mengi zaidi ambayo tunaweza faidi tukija pamoja, tukifanya kazi pamoja. like I say, from the two northern frontier business hubs of Mwanza and Kilimanjaro region. And Kilimanjaro is Moshi and Arusha. And then Dar es Salaam, of course, and then we'll be going down to Mbeya. In the next trade mission, we want to take off, we want to go and cover Dodoma, which is the new capital of the United Republic of Tanzania, and Zanzibar. So we are really keen on that. For me, that's a huge opportunity. But lastly, around July, that our intra-Africa trade is very low. Okay, less than 15%, maybe at best, maybe 14, 12%, where in Europe, people talk over 60%. So this kind of engagement that we're doing right now is to ensure that there's more intra-Africa trade, or the intra-country trade between especially Kenya and Tanzania. And as we speak right now, over 50%, even with all the challenges we've been having, almost around 50% of the trade that happens in the entire EAC happens in two countries, Kenya and Tanzania. We want to push that some more. And we believe the more interaction we have around trade and investment, the more we can create opportunity and wealth for our people. Because the biggest challenge, if you ask me, is the economy, economic opportunities, jobs. I think that's where it's an area that we're really keen on, even as much as we look at the other areas around diplomacy, but we feel that's really a key part of what we need to be doing. There's a great wealth between Kenya and Tanzania. I think combined, it'll probably be in the level of over 70% of the wealth in the EAC resides in Kenya and Tanzania. Another point, we are mooting a program called the Cross-Border Integrated Program, which we'll be discussing much later, which is how do we make that border between Kenya and Tanzania not a border of issues of social conflict, border of insecurity, because there have been insecurity issues there as well, or a border of underdevelopment. How do you turn around that border to become a border of prosperity, a border of development, a border of shared prosperity? So that's the kind of ideas we'll be having. We want that border to become a zone where opportunities are there, there's security, there's social cohesion, and partnership between the people there. Between this month of March and July, we do great things around trade activation and investment, and engaging the government of Tanzania to ensure that we resolve as many of these issues before we close in to go to other activities. Still have some products in Kenya which are not allowed in Tanzania. And I think vice versa as well. I think you remember, for example, there's an issue around tobacco, okay? And these are issues, tobacco and cigarettes. There's been a long-standing issues which have been resolved around confectionery, but that and around issues around excise duty for some products, around free movement of our people, around some charges that are levied. We want to look at those issues and of course understand, through genuine engagement, why these things are there and the best way to engage them. So we do have these issues, and we believe as we sit down across the table as brothers and sisters, because by the way, let it be known as well, as much as Tanzania, we complain, or Kenyan traders complain about the issues, Tanzanian traders also complain about the issues. And the best way to do that is to sit down. And Tanzanians have that goodwill, they've given us that goodwill. We want to sit down with them and say, brothers, what can we do better? And how best can we look at these challenges? In that spirit, good spirit of good brotherhood and neighborliness. And I've seen firsthand, when we engage Tanzanians that way, through goodwill, through the spirit of win-win. President Magufuli likes to speak about that, in the spirit of win-win. Win for Kenya, win for Tanzania. And President Kenyatta has been very categorical that we do not look at Tanzanians as a neighboring country, but he says we want to look at Tanzanians, our brothers and sisters. And if we go to that spirit, that we are engaging our brother here, we're engaging a sister, then we can get a lot done, which is what we want to do. Resolve as much as is possible, and ensure that this whole area becomes one single custom territory, that there's free movement of goods, there's less checks and less frustration for traders when they're doing the business. Then we move to the next level, which is how can we do joint investment projects, in the region, so that we see as much Tanzania investment in Kenya as we see Kenya investment in Tanzania. The moment we do that, I think we'll do a long way in bringing more trust between our people, and more engagement, quality engagement, and fruitful and profitable engagement, and which is what we're looking for. And so